You're not going to win football games not converting third down and losing the turnover battle. And we certainly were loose with the ball in several instances and didn't convert enough third downs. And so that's the end result. There's nothing mystical about it.
The Steelers' season took a dark turn in Los Angeles, and Mike Tomlin's post-game words shocked everyone. He didn't protect his team. He didn't hold back. We stunk it up tonight. Simple, but brutal. But what he said moments later, away from the cameras, might change how fans see this entire season.
We as an offensive collective were off today, and certainly he's a component of that. I'll let him speak for himself. But we certainly got to be better.
The Pittsburgh Steelers fell to 5-4 following the 25-10 defeat to the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football. The loss marked Pittsburgh's third defeat in primetime during the 2025 season, dropping the team to 0-3 in night games. Tomlin expanded on his assessment during the post-game press conference. You're not going to win football games by not converting third down and losing the turnover battle, he said via the team's YouTube channel. We were certainly loose with the ball on several instances and didn't convert enough third downs, and so that's the end result. There's nothing mystical about it. We'll be back, we'll be better, we have to be, but we certainly weren't tonight. The Steelers converted just 2 of 11 third down attempts against the Chargers. Pittsburgh entered Week 10 ranking 26th in third down offense and dropped to 31st over the last 3 games. The inability to sustain drives prevented the offense from establishing rhythm throughout the contest. The team turned the ball over 3 times, including 2 interceptions by quarterback Aaron Rodgers and a muffed punt by rookie Keshawn Williams. Pittsburgh managed only 221 total yards against Los Angeles. The offense generated just 156 yards through 3 quarters before a meaningless final drive added 65 yards in garbage time. The Steelers scored 3 points until the 4th quarter when Rodgers connected with Roman Wilson for a 27-yard touchdown with 2 minutes 57 seconds remaining. The touchdown came with the game already decided and the Chargers playing prevent defense. Tomlin addressed Rodgers' performance when asked to assess the quarterback's play. "How would you?" Next, Tomlin said succinctly when pressed by reporters. The head coach delivered a death stare to the questioner before moving on to the next inquiry. His 4-word response spoke volumes about his frustration with the line of questioning and his unwillingness to single out individual players for criticism. The head coach later provided more context about the offensive struggles. "We as an offensive collective were off today, and certainly Rodgers is a component of that," Tomlin stated via the team's website. "We certainly got to be better. Didn't feel like they did anything unanticipated, but certainly they outperformed us, particularly in possession down play." Rodgers completed 16 of 31 passes for 161 yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times and took a safety when he fumbled, fell on the ball in the end zone, and was tackled by Khalil Mack. The 50.6 passer rating represented the lowest of his first season with Pittsburgh. The quarterback missed several key throws, including an early deep ball to DK Metcalf that would have been a touchdown and a high throw to tight end Jonnu Smith that was overturned on review. The loss continued a troubling trend for Pittsburgh. The Steelers have now lost 3 of their last 4 games after starting the season 4-1. Baltimore sits just 1 game behind Pittsburgh in the AFC North standings at 6-2. The Ravens are trending upward while the Steelers struggle to find consistency on offense. Pittsburgh still must face Baltimore twice in the final 8 weeks of the season. Tomlin praised Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter for his game plan. "I have got to give credit to the LA Chargers, specifically DC Jesse Minter," Tomlin said. "I thought their collective did the job." Los Angeles kept Rodgers uncomfortable throughout the night, applying pressure that forced errant throws and poor decisions. The Chargers dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. The Steelers' defense performed adequately despite allowing 25 points. Pittsburgh recorded 5 sacks of Justin Herbert for the 2nd consecutive week. Outside linebacker Alex Highsmith led the team with 2 sacks, while inside linebacker Patrick Queen recorded 10 tackles. However, the defense failed to force any turnovers after creating 6 the previous week against Indianapolis. The defensive effort could not overcome offensive inadequacies. Tomlin's frustration showed visibly during the press conference. His body language and tone reflected disappointment that extended beyond typical post-game dissatisfaction. The head coach has guided Pittsburgh to 12 playoff appearances across 18 seasons, but has won just 8 postseason games since capturing Super Bowl 43rd following the 2008 season. The Steelers have not won a playoff game since defeating Kansas City in the 2016 divisional round. The primetime struggles particularly concern Tomlin given his historical success in such games. The Steelers entered the 2025 season with a 99-73 all-time record in primetime contests, representing a 57.6% winning percentage. Pittsburgh has won 73.7% of home primetime games and 44.8% of road primetime games throughout franchise history. The 0-3 start in night games during 2025 stands as a stark anomaly. Tomlin expressed confidence that the team would rebound from the disappointing performance. "I'm not lacking confidence, I don't need a pat on the back," he stated. "We stunk it up tonight. We'll be back," the head coach told the NBC Sports panel of Rodney Harrison, Tony Dungy, and Jack Collinsworth immediately after the game that the Steelers will be back. His public declarations aim to reassure both the locker room and fan base that the struggles represent temporary setbacks rather than permanent decline. Pittsburgh will host the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 11 at Acrisure Stadium. Cincinnati enters with a 3-6 record and ranks among the worst defenses in the NFL. The matchup provides an opportunity for the Steelers to correct offensive deficiencies against a vulnerable opponent. Vegas oddsmakers installed Pittsburgh as nearly a touchdown favorite, suggesting confidence in a bounce-back performance. Tomlin has a 21-3 record all-time on Monday Night Football, including 11-0 at Acrisure Stadium. The Steelers are 54-25 overall on Monday Night Football and have won 22 consecutive home Monday night games. The team will face Miami on Monday Night Football on December 15th, providing another opportunity to improve the 2025 primetime record. The head coach acknowledged that both schematics and execution contributed to the loss. "Sometimes losses can be pinned on schematics and sometimes execution," Tomlin noted. "Sunday night was a good example of poor execution. The first half featured multiple plays that could have altered the game's trajectory had they been completed. Cornerback Joey Porter Jr. dropped an interception while Rodgers sailed passes over open receivers on several occasions." Pittsburgh's offense has struggled for 2 consecutive weeks following the victory over Indianapolis. The Steelers managed just 225 yards and scored 27 points against the Colts in Week 9, though the defense created 6 turnovers that provided short fields. Against Los Angeles, the offense produced even less without defensive assistance. The unit has converted just 4 of 22 third downs over the last 2 games combined. Tomlin bristled at questions suggesting the Steelers should have run the ball more against the Chargers. His testy response indicated frustration with second-guessing of play-calling decisions. The head coach maintained that execution, rather than scheme selection, represented the primary issue. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith called an effective game according to both Tomlin and Rodgers, but players failed to execute the designed plays.
He's just a practice squatter right now, and so we'll get him in the fold and get him working and check his overall level of conditioning, how he learns, and some of those things. It is not the Duggar discussion. He's just a practice squad guy.
Something big just happened in Pittsburgh. Hours after the Steelers' hard-fought win over the Colts, the team made a move no one saw coming. A familiar face from Aaron Rodgers' past just walked through the doors, and it could change everything about how this offense looks next. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling to their practice squad on November 5, 2025. The signing reunited Valdes-Scantling with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, his former teammate from the Green Bay Packers. Valdes-Scantling worked out with the Steelers the previous week, but reports indicated he initially held off on signing while waiting for an opportunity to join a team's 53-man active roster rather than accepting a practice squad position. Valdes-Scantling played alongside Rodgers from 2018 to 2021, when both were with the Green Bay Packers. Over 59 games with Rodgers in Green Bay, Valdes-Scantling hauled in 123 passes for 2,153 yards and 13 touchdowns. The receiver started 39 games during his 4-year tenure with the Packers. The connection between the two players proved productive, particularly on deep passes where Valdes-Scantling's speed created separation downfield. The Green Bay Packers selected Valdes-Scantling in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft with the 174th overall pick. He made his NFL debut in the Packers season opener against the Chicago Bears on September 9, 2018. His first career start came in Week 4 against the Buffalo Bills when he replaced the injured Randall Cobb. Valdes-Scantling recorded his breakout performance in Week 5 against the Detroit Lions with 7 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. The 2020 season represented Valdes-Scantling's most productive year in Green Bay. He registered 33 catches for 690 yards and 6 touchdowns while playing alongside Rodgers. His ability to stretch the field vertically provided the Packers' offense with a deep threat that complemented their possession receivers. Valdes-Scantling averaged 17.5 yards per catch during his Green Bay tenure, ranking 4th in the NFL during that span among qualifying receivers. Valdes-Scantling left Green Bay after the 2021 season and signed a 3-year, $30 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent 2 seasons in Kansas City, helping the Chiefs win Super Bowl 57 and Super Bowl 58. In Super Bowl 58 against the San Francisco 49ers, Valdes-Scantling caught 3 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown in the Chiefs' 25-22 victory. The 16-yard touchdown reception represented Kansas City's only offensive touchdown in the championship game. His most memorable playoff performance came in the AFC Championship game against the Baltimore Ravens on January 28, 2024. Valdes-Scantling caught a 32-yard pass on 3rd down right before the 2-minute warning, allowing the Chiefs to run out the rest of the clock and secure a 17-10 victory. The catch sealed Kansas City's trip to Super Bowl 58. He finished the 2022-23 playoffs with 116 receiving yards and 1 touchdown during the championship game against Cincinnati. The Kansas City Chiefs released Valdes-Scantling on February 28, 2024, to create $12 million in salary cap space. The move allowed Kansas City to pursue other roster needs and address contracts for key defensive players. Valdes-Scantling caught 63 passes for 1,002 yards and 3 touchdowns across 2 regular seasons with the Chiefs, though his production proved inconsistent. He caught just 21 passes for 315 yards and 1 touchdown during the 2023 regular season, career-low numbers for the veteran receiver. Valdes-Scantling signed a 1-year contract with the Buffalo Bills on May 14, 2024. The Bills released him on October 15 following their acquisition of wide receiver Amari Cooper in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. Valdes-Scantling caught 2 passes for 26 yards on 9 targets during his time in Buffalo. He signed with the New Orleans Saints on October 22, 2024, and recorded his most productive stretch of the season. With the New Orleans Saints, Valdes-Scantling caught 17 receptions for 385 yards and 4 touchdowns across 8 games. He averaged 22.6 yards per catch with the Saints, demonstrating that his deep threat ability remained intact. The productive stint in New Orleans showed that Valdes-Scantling could still contribute when given opportunities. The Saints did not retain him beyond the 2024 season. Valdes-Scantling signed with the Seattle Seahawks during the 2025 offseason. He did not survive the 53-man roster cutdown when Seattle finalized its roster for the regular season. The San Francisco 49ers then signed him to their practice squad at the start of the 2025 season. Valdes-Scantling appeared in 5 games for the 49ers, catching 4 passes for 40 yards before San Francisco released him following a calf injury last month. The signing makes Valdes-Scantling the 5th team he has played for since 2023. His journeyman status reflects the challenges he has faced maintaining a consistent roster spot despite his physical tools. The 31-year-old receiver has now played for the Packers, Chiefs, Bills, Saints, Seahawks, 49ers, and Steelers during his 8-year NFL career. Aaron Rodgers addressed Valdes-Scantling's potential signing before it became official. "He is a really special guy, and I think MVS can still really play," Rodgers stated. "You saw last year when he was in New Orleans, he had opportunities. He had a lot of big touchdowns. He can still run." The comments came when Valdes-Scantling appeared to be delaying his decision while seeking an active roster opportunity rather than a practice squad position. Pittsburgh head coach Mike Tomlin downplayed Valdes-Scantling's arrival during his press conference. "He's just a practice squatter right now," Tomlin said via the Steelers' website. "We'll get him in the fold and get him working, check his overall level of conditioning, how he learns, and some of those things. It is not the Kyle Duggar discussion. He's just a practice squad guy." The comments contrasted sharply with the enthusiasm surrounding the team's trade for safety Kyle Duggar before the deadline. The Steelers currently hold first place in the AFC North with a 5-3 record through 9 games of the 2025 season. However, the team has struggled to generate consistent production from wide receivers outside of DK Metcalf. Metcalf leads the team with 29 receptions through 8 games. The next 4 top pass catchers are running backs or tight ends, highlighting the lack of depth at the receiver position. Valdes-Scantling has caught 209 passes for 3,606 yards and 20 touchdowns across 111 career games with 60 starts. He currently leads all active NFL players in yards per reception at 17.3 yards per catch.